Unexpected breaking news just leaked at Newcastle. The atmosphere around St. James Park has turned electric after several dramatic updates shook the black and white world this week. Eddie Howe is facing new injury headaches. The club has issued an official warning to supporters, and one of our most loved players has fired up the fans with an emotional message. To top it off, a Premier League legend has dropped a bold prediction for this weekend's showdown. Every Newcastle fan needs to hear this. There's tension, there's passion, and there's plenty of fresh news that will affect how the team lines up and fights in the coming days. This isn't just another week for the Magpies. This is a turning point. So stick around until the very end, and if you bleed black and white, hit that subscribe button now to stay one step ahead of the headlines. Lewis Hall has become one of the most talked about names at Newcastle United this week, as Eddie Howe confirmed that the young defender remains a doubt ahead of the crucial clash against West Ham. Hall has been recovering from a thigh issue that kept him out of the midweek win over Tottenham, and although the medical staff have been working tirelessly, the manager admitted the game may come too soon for him. The player has shown good progress in training, but Howe wants to avoid rushing him back too early and risking a setback. Supporters are desperate to see him back in action, yet patience is the key word at the moment. Tino Livramento's situation is another that has kept the Newcastle medical room busy. The right-back picked up a knee injury in September against Arsenal, and while there were early fears of a long-term absence, those worries have eased in recent weeks. Livramento has returned to light training on the grass and is stepping up his recovery program. Howe revealed that the player has been pushing himself hard and could make a comeback shortly after the next international break. That would be a major boost for Newcastle, given Livramento's energy and defensive consistency. His targeted return date is set for late November, when the Magpies face Manchester City at home. Sven Botman also remains under the spotlight after taking a heavy knock during the Fulham match last weekend. The Dutch defender collided with Sosa Lukic in the build-up to the equalizer and had to receive treatment on the pitch before being taken off. Thankfully, post-match tests showed there was no concussion or structural damage. Howe still decided to rest him during the midweek game against Tottenham, leaving him on the bench as a precaution. The medical staff have now cleared Botman to resume full training, and there's optimism that he could feature against West Ham on Sunday. The manager described the injury as just a knock, but all eyes will be on the final pre-match assessment. Yoane Wissa's name continues to appear on the list of absentees as his frustrating wait for a debut goes on. The forward, signed from Brentford in the last hours of the transfer window, is still recovering from a posterior cruciate ligament problem. The club's medical team have been cautious, outlining a long rehabilitation plan designed to build his strength steadily. Howe mentioned that even after Wissa is cleared to play, he will need a mini preseason lasting around 6 weeks to reach full match fitness. Fans had hoped to see him earlier, but the realistic expectation is a return by the end of November. The coaching staff are confident he'll be a valuable addition once fully fit. Harrison Ashby is another name in the treatment room, and his situation remains uncertain. The young fullback has been sidelined with a thigh issue for several weeks, and Eddie Howe confirmed that there is still no clear timeline for his return. Ashby joined Newcastle from West Ham back in January 2023, but he has yet to make his competitive debut for the Magpies. The manager expressed sympathy for the player, saying the club's medical department is working closely with him to ensure a complete recovery. Until he rejoins full training, the club will continue to monitor his progress week by week. The injury has been frustrating, but the staff are optimistic he'll recover fully before the end of the year. Eddie Howe himself admitted in his pre-match press conference that managing the growing injury list has been one of his biggest challenges this season. He explained that the demanding schedule, with matches across multiple competitions, has taken a toll on the squad's fitness levels. Despite these setbacks, Howe remains calm and confident. He emphasized that the team's depth allows for rotation without losing quality, and praised several younger players for stepping up when called upon. Howe's message to the fans was clear: we're building resilience. Every player who comes in knows exactly what's expected of them. His belief in squad unity has been central to Newcastle's strong form. The timing of these injuries couldn't be more delicate. Newcastle are preparing for a crucial run of fixtures, including a Premier League battle with West Ham followed by a high-profile meeting with Manchester City later in November. Howe's ability to manage player workloads will be vital if the Magpies are to maintain their momentum across all fronts. He's already demonstrated his tactical flexibility, rotating the squad effectively during their Carabao Cup run. The victory over Tottenham midweek, despite 8 changes to the starting 11, was a clear reminder of the depth and professionalism within the team. Howe will hope that same spirit carries them through this challenging period. There is, however, a sense of optimism around the training ground. Players who have been sidelined for weeks are now being spotted running, stretching, and gradually reintegrating into team drills. The atmosphere remains positive, and the coaching staff are keeping communication open with each individual regarding their recovery targets. Newcastle's medical team have earned praise for their structured approach, ensuring players return only when fully ready. The focus is on sustainability rather than quick fixes, something that could prove crucial in the long season ahead. As Howe likes to repeat, we win together, and we recover together. For the fans, the uncertainty surrounding key players brings mixed emotions. Some worry that the team could struggle without familiar names like Botman or Livramento, while others see it as a chance for younger talents to shine. Newcastle supporters have shown remarkable patience over the years, and this period will test that loyalty once again. Yet there's also pride, a belief that even when injuries hit, the spirit of the club remains unbroken. The team's recent performances, especially against strong sides like Tottenham and Fulham, prove that this Newcastle side fights for every inch. It's that resilience that makes them so hard to beat. As the West Ham match draws closer, Eddie Howe's focus will be on balance, getting the right mix of caution and ambition. He knows his men are tired, but he also knows what's at stake. 3 points away from home would keep Newcastle's push for a top 4 spot alive and send a message to the rest of the league. Even with a few names missing, this squad has enough quality, belief, and togetherness to deliver. Howe summed it up perfectly earlier this week. Injuries test your squad, but they also reveal your character. And this group has plenty of that. Sunday's game will prove whether his words ring true. Newcastle United have issued a rare and serious warning to supporters this week, urging them to stay away from the club's training ground for safety reasons. The official statement, released on Thursday afternoon, immediately caught the attention of the fanbase, many of whom had been visiting the site during school holidays. The club explained that the decision was not taken lightly but was necessary to protect both fans and staff. With the increased number of visitors trying to catch a glimpse of players, congestion around the entrance had become a genuine safety concern. Newcastle made it clear, fans must avoid gathering near the gates. In their announcement, the club highlighted that the only access route to the training facility is a narrow public road shared by vehicles and pedestrians. Over recent weeks, large groups of supporters have gathered there, hoping for photos or autographs as players drive in or out. However, this has created potentially dangerous situations, with people stepping onto the roadway and blocking traffic. The club's statement emphasized that this was a matter of safety, not punishment. They want to protect everyone, players, staff, and fans alike, from the risk of accidents. It's a message that's been backed fully by Eddie Howe and his coaching team. The club's official message was firm but respectful. For everyone's safety, it read, "Please avoid crowding at the entrance to our training center or on nearby roads." It went on to say that players and coaches had been instructed not to stop their cars for photos or signatures until further notice. This decision has disappointed some fans but also earned widespread understanding. Newcastle's strong connection with their supporters is one of the most cherished in English football, and the club stressed that this policy would not affect that bond. Safety, however, must come first. During half-term week, the number of families visiting the training ground had increased dramatically. Parents bringing children to see their heroes created wonderful moments, but also led to heavy congestion. Cars, delivery trucks, and even construction vehicles were forced to maneuver around crowds standing on narrow pavements. Local residents had also raised concerns about blocked roads and the risk of accidents. The club, aware of its responsibility, decided it had to act before someone got hurt. The safety team has now put up signs and increased security patrols to manage the situation. For many Newcastle fans, the training ground has long been a place of pride and community. Over the years, Countless supporters have gathered there to greet new signings, celebrate victories, or offer encouragement after tough defeats. It's part of what makes the club so special. That open, family-like connection between the team and its supporters. Yet, as the club grows and becomes more global, certain adjustments are needed. The statement recognized this change, promising to find new ways to maintain close contact with fans in a safe and organized manner. To reassure the fan base, Newcastle confirmed that opportunities for supporters to meet players will continue throughout the season. These will be announced via the club's official website and social media channels. Events such as open training sessions, fan days, and charity appearances are being planned to replace spontaneous gatherings at the training ground. We understand how important these moments are, the statement added, and will make sure fans have proper, safe opportunities to meet their heroes. This proactive approach has been praised by many as a sensible balance between passion and practicality. However, not all reactions were positive. Some supporters expressed disappointment on social media, saying the club had become too corporate or less accessible. Others argued that a few irresponsible individuals had ruined the experience for everyone else. Local journalists have pointed out that the issue isn't unique to Newcastle. Other Premier League clubs have faced similar problems as fan numbers grow and security demands rise. Still, most fans agree that safety must take priority. The last thing anyone wants is for a young supporter to be injured while trying to meet a player. Interestingly, former Newcastle players have also spoken up in support of the club's stance. One ex-defender, who used to train at the site, told local media that he had witnessed dangerously chaotic scenes outside the entrance in the past. He described children stepping onto the road and cars being forced to brake suddenly. "It's not about pushing fans away," he said. "It's about preventing an accident before it happens." Those words have echoed across fan forums, where the debate continues, passion versus precaution. It's a delicate balance that defines modern football culture. Eddie Howe, ever the professional, has privately supported the move as well. Sources close to the club say he wants his players focused and undistracted during training days, especially as the fixture list grows more demanding. Howe reportedly believes that structured fan events will actually strengthen the relationship between the club and its supporters in the long term. "It's all about respect," one insider said. "Respect for the fans, for the players, and for everyone's safety." The message is consistent with Howe's philosophy. Discipline off the pitch leads to better performances on it. In the end, this episode serves as a reminder of how far Newcastle United have come. A club once struggling in the Championship now finds itself managing crowds of global supporters. It's a sign of progress and of the need to adapt. While some traditions may change, the passion of the Toon Army remains as fierce as ever. Fans will always find ways to show their love, whether it's at St. James Park, in official events, or from afar. The important thing is that everyone stays safe while doing so. That's what the club's latest message is really about. Protecting the heartbeat of Newcastle United, its people. Sandro Tonali lit up St. James Park once again this week, reminding everyone exactly why Newcastle United fought so hard to bring him to Tyneside. After returning from illness, the Italian maestro delivered a masterclass in midfield during the 3-0 win over Tottenham Hotspur in the Carabao Cup. It was his first start in weeks, but Tonali looked as sharp and commanding as ever. Controlling the rhythm of the game, setting the tempo, and even assisting Fabian Schär's opener, he was everywhere. When the final whistle blew, fans and pundits alike agreed. Sandro Tonali was back, and back in style. After the match, Tonali took to social media to share a short but powerful message: "This is NUFC." 3 simple words that sent Newcastle fans into a frenzy. Within minutes, the post had been flooded with comments, likes, and black and white emojis. Supporters saw it as more than just a caption. It was a declaration of loyalty, a statement that Tonali truly understands what it means to play for Newcastle United. The passion in those 3 words reflected what every Magpies fan feels when they see the team fight for every ball under the lights of St. James Park. Alan Shearer, the greatest goalscorer in the club's history, was among the first to respond. The Newcastle legend quoted Tonali's post with a single word: perfect. That one word spoke volumes. Coming from Shearer, it was not just praise. It was approval from someone who knows exactly what it takes to earn the love of the Toon Army. Fans immediately shared screenshots of the exchange, calling it a passing of the torch moment between two generations of Newcastle heroes. Shearer's seal of approval only added to the emotion of the night. Eddie Howe was also full of praise for Toon Army after the match. Speaking to the media, he said, "When you make 8 changes to a side, you always wonder how cohesive the team will be, but Sandro set the tone. His energy, his composure, his leadership, it was all there." Howe described the midfielder's performance as exceptional, adding that Tonali's professionalism during his recovery had been outstanding. The manager said Tonali's presence gave confidence to younger players like Jacob Ramsey and Joe Willock, who flourished alongside him in midfield. "He brings calmness and control," Howe said. "He's a top professional." Tonali's impact has been immense since his arrival from AC Milan. At just 25, he's already become one of the team's leaders on and off the pitch. His ability to dictate play and his fierce determination to win have made him a fan favorite. Newcastle supporters admire his humility as much as his talent. Despite his success in Italy, he has fully embraced life in the Northeast, often speaking about his love for the passion and atmosphere that surround the club. His family have settled well in the area, and that connection has only deepened his bond with the fans. The match against Tottenham was more than just another cup tie. It was a statement of intent. Newcastle dominated from start to finish, and Toon Army was at the heart of everything positive. His passing range opened up spaces, his pressing forced mistakes, and his leadership inspired those around him. When the stadium announcer named him man of the match, the roar from the crowd said it all. The fans know class when they see it, and Toon Army delivered it in abundance. The chants of his name echoed long after full time, a sign of how much he means to the black and white faithful. Tonali's post-match interview on ITV added even more emotion to the evening. "This victory gives us confidence," he said. "It's important to be in the quarterfinals again, but it's also important to play with our identity. Our goal is to win this trophy again, because our fans deserve it." His words struck a chord with everyone watching. They weren't rehearsed or forced, they came from the heart. He spoke with honesty, pride, and a deep understanding of what football means in Newcastle. It was a perfect reflection of his personality. Humble, passionate, and completely committed. Teammates like Bruno Guimaraes, Dan Burn, and Nick Woltemade quickly commented on Tonali's post, calling him the maestro and a leader. Even new signing Anthony Elanga shared it, adding a flame emoji and the word class. The unity within the squad has become one of Newcastle's biggest strengths this season. Tonali's influence goes beyond his technical ability, he sets a standard. Players look up to him because he leads by example. Whether in training or during a tough away fixture, he brings the same level of intensity and respect for the shirt every single day. For Eddie Howe, Tonali's resurgence couldn't have come at a better time. With injuries piling up and the fixture list getting busier, having a player of his quality back to full strength is a massive boost. Howe knows that Tonali's partnership with Bruno and Joelinton is one of the most balanced midfields in the Premier League. When those three are on the pitch together, Newcastle play their most fluent and confident football. The Italian's discipline allows others to push forward, and his vision keeps the team ticking. Simply put, when Toon Army plays, Newcastle look like a top-4 side. As the Magpies prepare for their next league game against West Ham, fans are buzzing with excitement. They know Tonali's passion and drive could make the difference again. His connection with supporters grows stronger with every performance and every post he shares online. Alan Shearer's public approval only reinforced that sense of belonging, that Toon Army is now one of them, one of us. His message, "This is NUFC," wasn't just about a club. It was about identity, pride, and unity. And right now, with the team flying high, it feels like Toon Army truly embodies the spirit of Newcastle United. Paul Merson has never been shy about sharing his opinions, and this week the Sky Sports pundit made his stance crystal clear ahead of Newcastle United's upcoming Premier League clash with West Ham. In his latest Sportskeeda column, Merson predicted a comfortable victory for the Magpies, despite their congested fixture list and ongoing injury concerns. "I can't see anything other than a Newcastle win," he wrote confidently. "West Ham are struggling badly, and Newcastle look full of belief right now. His words have delighted Toon fans but stirred quite a debate among neutrals. Could Merson's bold forecast prove correct once again? Merson highlighted what he sees as two major contrasts between the clubs: form and mentality. Newcastle have won 5 of their last 6 matches in all competitions, including a dominant 3-0 victory over Tottenham in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. Meanwhile, West Ham have slipped to 19th in the table under Nuno Espirito Santo, with confidence at rock bottom. The pundit described the Hammers as the worst home side in the league, and noted their worrying run of results at the London Stadium. "They haven't won there since February," he said. "That's a long time without joy in front of your own fans." Eddie Howe's side, on the other hand, are buzzing. Newcastle's impressive depth has allowed them to rotate without losing quality, even amid injuries to key players like Livramento, Hall, and Botman. Merson praised Howe's management, calling him one of the most organized coaches in the league. He believes Howe's structure gives Newcastle an edge in these busy periods. "You can see what they're trying to do every time they step on the pitch," Merson explained. "They don't panic, they press together, and they've got that resilience you only see in top teams. It's that unity," he said, "that makes them so dangerous." When asked for a score prediction, Merson didn't hesitate. "West Ham 1, Newcastle 3, he declared. The former Arsenal midfielder believes Newcastle's attacking options, even without Wissa, will be too much for the struggling Hammers. He singled out Nick Woltemade as one to watch after the German striker's excellent form in recent weeks. "He's confident, he's scoring goals, and he's making life easier for everyone around him," Merson said. "If he gets an early chance on Sunday, don't be surprised if he buries it." His prediction immediately spread across social media, with Magpies fans calling it a lucky charm. Merson's comments also included praise for Newcastle's midfield trio. He said that when Toon Army, Bruno Guimaraes, and Joelinton are on song, the Magpies can dominate almost any team in the Premier League. "That's a proper midfield," Merson wrote. "They've got balance, power, creativity, and they all work for each other. You can tell they love playing together." He contrasted that with West Ham's lack of chemistry, suggesting that Nuno Espirito Santo is still searching for the right formula. "It's early days for him," Merson admitted, "but time is running out fast." Interestingly, Merson also touched on Newcastle's away record, which has been mixed this season. The Magpies have found it harder to replicate their home dominance on the road, managing just 1 league win away so far. But the pundit insists that statistic is misleading. "They've been unlucky," he said. "They've played well in several away games without taking their chances. If they perform like they did in the Cup this week, I can't see them slipping up again." For Merson, the real challenge isn't quality. It's maintaining focus amid a brutal schedule. The fixture congestion is something Merson didn't ignore. "They are playing every few days," he noted, "and that can catch up with you." However, he believes Howe's rotation policy and squad spirit will help Newcastle cope. "They're not just 11 players. They're a team in every sense," he said. "That's what you need when you're fighting on multiple fronts." Merson compared their situation to Arsenal's last season, praising Howe for managing expectations and keeping players hungry. "He knows when to rest them and when to push them. That's elite management." The history books also favor Newcastle. Since Eddie Howe took charge, the Magpies have never lost away to West Ham. In 4 visits to the London Stadium, they've won twice and drawn twice. Merson referenced that record as another reason for confidence. "Sometimes certain fixtures just suit you," he wrote. "Newcastle seem to love playing West Ham away. It's like the pressure lifts and they express themselves more freely." One of those wins, he reminded readers, came just days before Newcastle's famous Carabao Cup triumph last season, another good omen. While Merson's faith in Newcastle has thrilled the Toon Army, he warned that complacency could still be dangerous. "If they take West Ham lightly, they'll get punished," he said. "The Premier League doesn't forgive lapses in concentration." But he quickly added that he doesn't see how allowing that to happen. "Eddie's teams are always switched on," Merson concluded. "They'll know what's at stake." Another 3 points could push them right back into top 4 contention, and I think they'll take that chance. For fans, his confidence has only fueled anticipation for Sunday's clash. As kickoff approaches, the mood around Newcastle remains positive and united. Supporters are traveling to London full of hope, banners, and black and white scarves. They've seen their team grow under Howe from a mid-table side to a genuine contender. Whether Merson's prediction of 3-1 proves accurate or not, one thing is clear: this Newcastle team has earned respect. Their energy, belief, and togetherness have made them one of the most exciting sides to watch in the league. If they can overcome fatigue and injuries once again, they might just prove the pundit right, in style. What a week for Newcastle United. We've had injury updates that could shape Sunday's lineup, a serious safety message from the club, an emotional declaration from Sandro Tonali, and a confident prediction from Paul Merson. Each story reveals something unique about where this team is right now: united, ambitious, and determined to keep moving forward. But what do you think? Toon Army. Can Eddie Howe manage all these challenges and still keep Newcastle flying high? Are you confident that Lewis Hall, Tino Livramento, and Sven Botman will return stronger than ever? Do you agree with the club's decision to ask fans to stay away from the training ground for safety reasons? And what about Sandro Tonali? Did his words and performance prove he's now a true Geordie at heart? Finally, is Paul Merson right to predict a 3-1 victory away to West Ham this weekend? Let us know your thoughts down below. We always love hearing from our loyal supporters. Whatever your answers, one thing's certain: Newcastle United are growing stronger every single week. The passion of the fans, the leadership of Eddie Howe, and the commitment of the players are all driving this club towards something special. Whether it's battling through injuries, staying safe off the pitch, or fighting for trophies, this is a club that never gives up. Keep believing, Toon fans. The best is yet to come. Wait, before you go, check out this breaking video from Newcastle.